Ravens Rundown by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here with you. Appreciate you joining us. Coming up on today's show, we're going to talk about replacement options for Lamar Jackson. If he were to leave, if they move on from him, who could be the next starting quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens? We will tell you in just one moment. Before we do, folks, you got to subscribe to the channel. What are you waiting for if you haven't subscribed already? We are all over this team like no one else is, covering the latest happenings with your favorite team, news, rumors, trades, free agency, draft, and more. We're about to send the team this week all the way to the Combine in Indy because we want to provide you the best coverage on the Ravens and the rest of the NFL. So what are you waiting for? Subscribe now. You'll be glad you did. Let's get started with today's show. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to break it down like this. We're going to go over the veteran options and then the rookie options for the Ravens if Lamar were to move on. If they decide to franchise tag him and trade him as he goes from free agency to then the trade market, who could be the viable options to be the next man up? The obvious one in-house is Tyler Huntley, the current backup quarterback for the Ravens, the Pro Bowler Tyler Huntley, that is. I'll say this, Tyler Huntley, I think everybody likes Tyler Huntley. He is well respected among the flock and in the locker room in Baltimore. But, I mean, we're kidding ourselves here if we think that Tyler Huntley is a long-term solution. If you want him to be your starter for the entire season, I don't think that's necessarily a great idea. That's the obvious option on the table because he's already there coming off a Pro Bowl season. But I don't get too excited about that one. Another veteran option is Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers quarterback. Aaron is a little bit older, and you still would have to pay him a lot of money. That's the same issue you have with Lamar Jackson. But we have seen Aaron win a Super Bowl. He's winning MVPs. He's playing at a high level. But how much longer is he going to go? So you get the good and the bad when it comes with Aaron there, but that could be a possibility. Another veteran is Geno Smith. Geno Smith had a terrific year with the Seattle Seahawks this past year. He was a Pro Bowler, NFL Comeback Player of the Year, 30-plus touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Geno was great, but was it an anomaly? Can he do it somewhere else? And I don't know how much of an option he really is. I still expect Seattle to bring him back, but at this point in time, he is due to enter free agency the way it stands right now. More veterans to get to. Then we got rookies as well in a moment. But first, our pinned comment today. You might get an ad break. If so, take advantage of it. And tell me who will be the Ravens starting quarterback week one. Will it be Lamar? Will it be somebody else? Tell me in the comment section who comes to mind, who you think will be the Ravens starting quarterback week one when the season begins. This guy is already a free agent, previously with the Las Vegas Raiders. That would be Derek Carr, who just got released within the last week or so. Derek Carr, a veteran quarterback who has had an up-and-down career at this point, coming off a disappointing year with a less than 61% completion percentage, threw for just over 3,500 yards, threw 14 picks. He had all those weapons there in Las Vegas with bringing in Devontae Adams, Waller, Jacobs, Renfro, and they didn't have much to show for it. I'm not a fan of Derek Carr. Every time he cashes a paycheck, he's stealing money. I'm not in favor of Derek Carr, and to me, that would be so disappointing to go from the highs of Lamar Jackson to Derek Carr. No thanks. I'm out on Derek Carr. A little bit cheaper, probably a lot cheaper actually than Derek Carr, would be Jimmy Garoppolo. Jimmy G, in the time that he played before he got hurt, was having a career year with the San Francisco 49ers. The best thing you can say about Jimmy G is he is a winner. No question about it. I know that things have been up and down for Jimmy G throughout his career and that he never elevated himself to be a franchise quarterback, but he has won a lot of games and has experience in the playoffs, so he's got that going for him. And then the last veteran quarterback option, don't kill me for saying this, Baker Mayfield. Hear me out on this, folks. The Ravens organization, we told you about the report from The Athletic that came out like a week or two ago, that the Ravens have always liked Baker Mayfield, dating back to his days in Cleveland and even when he was in the draft, that they've always respected the hell out of Baker Mayfield, that DaCosta and John Harbaugh and these guys have been big Baker Mayfield fans. Baker's about to be a free agent. He is going to be definitely the cheapest of those quarterbacks that we talked about, other than Tyler Huntley, who you already have in-house and, in that situation. But nonetheless, Baker Mayfield's been a winner. I thought playing under Sean McVay did him wonders this past year. I like Baker. When it costs you a lot, it's an outside chance, but we do know the Ravens organization does like him. What about Baker? I wouldn't even rule out Baker to back up Lamar Jackson potentially. I think that's even a possibility. What about just bringing in Baker in some way, shape, or form? Whether it's to replace Lamar or back up Lamar. Do you want to see Baker Mayfield in Baltimore? Let me know in the comments section. Y for yes, in for no if you'd like to see Lamar Jackson with the Baltimore Ravens or not. Y for yes, in for no if you want to see Baker here. Folks, we have these awesome Ravens jerseys that we're selling, whether it's Mark Andrews with the gold 89. Maybe you want to throw it back to Ray Lewis and be a real OG on that front. Lamar Jackson, you better get this jersey because you get the chance to prove to your friends that you believe that Lamar Jackson was still going to be here no matter what and get that jersey. Marcus Williams, we have plenty of others, all shapes and sizes, different colors, represent all your different favorite players from different eras. You can get all of them on sale now. Chatsports.com/Ravens jersey is where you can find those. Chatsports.com/Ravens jersey to get yours today. Now to the rookie quarterback options. I personally, if you're going to move on from Lamar, I like this route better. Take advantage of not having to pay the young quarterback a whole lot, and then also you're probably working a trade of some sorts involving Lamar so you can get some more potential picks. Bryce Young is my favorite quarterback in this draft. I know that he's 6 foot flat, but he is a winner. He is a gamer. I mean, think about this. I know that this Alabama program is used to winning a lot of football games, and this year had a down year, losing 2 games. But the only reason they were in some of these games this year was because of Bryce Young. You go back to the Tennessee game, the LSU game, those games that they lost in the closing seconds, they were around because Bryce Young still put them in a position to win. Bryce Young's a gamer. He does it all. I love everything about Bryce Young. I think he's got a bright future in this league. Next up, C.J. Stroud from the Ohio State. C.J. Stroud has all the build you're looking for, okay? I mean, he just looks like an NFL quarterback. 6'3", 218, nice arm, good accuracy. I mean, all those things there with C.J. Stroud look pretty good. He looks the part. What does concern me about C.J. Stroud a little bit, something about him, comparatively speaking to, let's say, Bryce Young, is that in the biggest games and the biggest moments, C.J. Stroud didn't always step up and perform. Lost to Michigan twice. He did play great against Georgia in the playoff. I'll give him that. They did lose that game, though. But I saw Bryce Young, when push came to shove in those big moments, put on a show. C.J. Stroud didn't always see that from in those big moments. So that's a little concerning. That's my biggest knock on him, but for the most part, I like C.J. Stroud a lot, too. Pick a quarterback. If it's one of these two, who you rolling with? Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. What quarterback do you like better? Even if they're not going to end up in Baltimore, what quarterback do you like? Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud. Type BY for Bryce Young. Type CJ for C.J. Stroud. Let us know in the comments section. BY for Bryce Young, CJ for C.J. Stroud. A couple more rookie quarterbacks on the board. Will Levis out of Kentucky. Will Levis, a lot of people were excited about going into 2022 of what he would do for the Kentucky Wildcats, and arguably the most talented quarterback in that university's history that they've brought to the table. But even with that said, you look at the raw skills. I think Will Levis is going to impress some people at the Combine later this week, and you're going to see a lot of those things step out that the scouting report's going to love. But when you go to the game tape, in all honesty, he underperformed this year. I expected more out of Will Levis. Will Levis could have played his way into being the number 1 pick without question. But I didn't feel like he did enough to do that he left a lot out there and was not the quarterback he was built up to be. Still think a lot of those intangibles are good there. It's a project of sorts with Will Levis, but it's still a better project I'd be more willing to take on than the Anthony Richardson project. Anthony Richardson, I am out on completely. And I know some people are going to say, well, you could go from one mobile quarterback to another, right? Well, you got a new system coming in place anyway that Todd Monken's bringing in. Anthony Richardson, no one can argue about his athleticism. That's there. He is a hell of a runner. He can do all of that. No one's questioning that. But he's not a very good passer. Accuracy, you can see on your screen, less than 54%. That's not good, folks. That's not good. Okay? I got major concerns. Anthony Richardson, here's the deal. If you're moving on from Lamar, you're looking for a quarterback, if you're going to, especially as a rookie, to step in and play right away. Anthony Richardson ain't that guy. So he would be my last option of the rookie quarterbacks. Speaking of those quarterbacks in 2023, tell me this. Who's the best one of them? I say Bryce Young. Some of you might say one of the others. Let me know in the comment section who you like of this year's quarterback class. Interact with me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Tyler Jones Live, and I'll see you next time right here on the Ravens Rundown.